What's going on, people, man? You're tuning into episode 3 of the Is Not Easy podcast, man. We've got some brothers in there today, man. They're gonna talk about a few bits and bobs and get stuck in, man. But what you guys been up to anyway, man? What's your man's week's been saying? What's your man's weekend been saying and that?
It's the same old stuff, innit? Work. Summer party the other day. Sports day things. It was alright. It's fun.
Yeah, sports day.
Yeah. It's crazy. But it was alright. As in my work sports day. We had a sports day.
You gotta do it on the sports day?
It's the first time we've done one.
Same primary school.
But it was like egg and spoon race. Sack race and stuff like that. So like that's them sort of races. It was actually fun. It was actually decent. We came top 2 and the top 2 went into like a tug of war. And the winners of that gets a medal or whatever. We lost. But
fair
it was fun. Yeah, that's pretty much my week.
How about you, Charles?
Yeah, I had my summer party too. Just rooftop terrace. It's nice. And then just been working, gym, football stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, the summer party thing is that season, isn't it? Mine was a few months ago. I didn't go there because I was busy that weekend, but yeah, man, summer parties are they're alright at work, isn't it?
It was good. There was a lot of us there, so it was just good to like speak to everyone. Drinks were flowing, so it wasn't bad.
Yeah, it's decent. But yeah, like to be fair, it's been a big week in sports and this life anyway. To be fair, there's a lot has dropped. I wanted us to firstly start with obviously Dele Alli's interview. Obviously, Frank Lampard he did the interview as well, but I think it was a long time coming for him to come forward and like, talk about what he's been going through, because like everyone's been saying for years now, like what happened to Ali? Like where's that player that we saw in 2015? What did you man think of it, like, or like in terms of like insight, like what do you guys basically learn from it?
What did I learn from it? It's quite fresh. I listened to it on Thursday. Quite fresh. A bit more understanding of why his career has gone the way it has, because he spoke about the results of the consequences of what he went through when he was younger, and how he like deals with that, and how that probably affects his playing career and whatnot. I didn't really learn much. It's a weird one, isn't it? Like, because it's usually you get these sort of interviews at the end of their career or after their career. You don't really get it in the middle of their career, because he's still like what?
I think he's 27,
28.
So like, still heading into his prime, at his prime years maybe. Yeah. So we'll see what happens after. It'll be interesting to see what happens after. Whether like he said that he sort of like, to be honest, where he's like acknowledged what he's going through, why he's going through, why he's doing certain things. Yeah. It'll be interesting to see like how he deals with it after, and whether that helps his playing career. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was interesting. The main fact that I took from that was that it's interesting that he did it in the middle of his career rather than wait till it's over to come out and speak on things. But yeah,
I thought what was crazy was like, I know Gary touched on it in the interview, that he's only had like 4 years of like stability in his life. Yeah. So like
that was deep when he said that. Still,
obviously, all the stuff happened where he got adopted when he was 12, and then professional football at MK Dons when he was 16. So it's only from like 12 to 16 where he just had like a normal life. Yeah. And he's never really had a normal life, obviously, because now he's like the highlights of being a footballer. So for me, that's what I took from the interview. Is just like he just hasn't had that normality. Yeah. Of like a normal life.
Yeah, and like a key thing for me was that like with, you know, when it comes to trauma, like it can impact you at different stages of your life. So like if you have trauma at like 8, 9 years old, it might not like start impacting you until you're like 24, 25. Yeah. So like it's interesting because like he had that peak where he was playing unreal. Obviously, he might have still been battling it away from the cameras. Yeah. But on the pitch, it was still showing that he was fine. Yeah. So just like seeing that trauma, and like even he was talking about in the house of his mum, the people there, drugs, like seeing that, like him being that open and vulnerable at that pass was like, it was pretty inspiring to see, like him putting out that this is what it is. But it was unfortunate to hear, and he mentioned it in the interview that like a few of the tabloids had been getting out to him, like, reaching out to his team, saying that apparently they saw him in the
rehabilitation.
Yeah, in the rehab like place. So it's like it did seem a bit, so not rushed, but a bit like forced his hand a bit to come out and talk about it. But yeah, man, like, it's brave, man, to come out and say that, put it all on the table. Yeah, there's quite a lot to it. What do you guys feel like his season's going to be at Everton now? Because now it's like a bit of eyes on him that like, you've cleared that, you're out. Like,
Yeah.
how do you think it'll be in that now, Everton?
I feel like, because I've heard a previous story of Sean Dyche and Troy Deeney.
Yeah.
When Troy Deeney went to prison, Sean Dyche was his manager. And he said how helpful he was, how like supportive he was during the time, and when he came back, understanding his situation and helping him get to the point where he was before he went to prison.
Yeah.
So maybe he's fortunate to have a manager that can help him and be supportive, because he's been in a situation before with another player, obviously different situation, but he understands that Dele will need help and support to get back to the levels that he was previously. So maybe he's in a good position with the right manager. So we'll see.
Do you think he can get back to that level though? Because even
that's the thing.
When Poch left,
Yeah,
and you had the Mourinho season, he was never really.
He never really got back there.
Yeah.
He had a tiny period.
Yeah,
I think you know when he did that.
bit,
He
like,
did
right at the start.
Yeah, that skill against West Ham on the floor.
Yeah.
West Ham.
Yeah.
That little period there, he was like, oh cool.
It looked like it was
getting back there.
Yeah, but it just came back and it started to impact him. I think like he did make a good point about the Sean Dyche thing, because he did mention that Dyche's been chatting to him and like reassuring him that like he got placed in the team and stuff. So that's good to hear. But yeah, like, I think you're like, is he gonna get back to that level? It's hard. Now he's 28.
He's at a good age though.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's had like 3-4 years where he hasn't been at that level now. And have we ever seen a player who's had 3 or 4 years like he's had go back to that peak where he was when he was at that young age?
Yeah. And even like athletically, do you think he still has that in him? Like to like.
Yeah, I think so.
What, like the box to box, like he was at Spurs?
Yeah, like the way he was.
I think that's natural though. Like he'll just have to put in the work to get back there, but I think he can get there.
Yeah.
Just about his work ethic.
Yeah.
That's what he lost in the last 4 years, but just needs the right support and he could get there, definitely.
Yeah. It'll be interesting though, because obviously Everton, and they finished 2 points of relegation zone last year. So and for like quite a lot of the season, he was playing like a 4-2-3-1 or like a 4-1-4-1. So where do you feel like if he would have struck back into the 10, if he does get that form back?
Yeah. There's opportunities there. It'd be interesting. Trying to think of like Sean Dyche's previous teams and how he matches up to.
Last year they played 4. Did they play 4-3-3? They played 4-3-3 last year.
A few times. I had to check on like most of the formation was like a 4-2-3-1.
He had 5 back sometimes, didn't he?
Yeah, and the Corey the whole or 4-1-4-1.
Yeah,
just the Corey and yeah.
You're saying Ali will fit into that 8? I can't see Ali fitting into that 8.
He could go to a 4-4-2 like I did in Burnley. 2 strikers, Dele being the Barnes.
Behind, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Ashley Barnes.
It just depends, because like he always had a unique profile anyway. Like it wasn't the sort of profile that would fit in any team. Like Active had like he had a set of really favourable circumstances at Spurs. So it'll be interesting to see like how that now translates to like other areas. Like we'll just have to see how he fits in.
Yeah.
But no, like man, him coming forward with that was big, and that was a shock as well. Like no one expected it. How do you man feel like Gary Neville like approached it? Like,
I was shocked that he was the one who did the interview, because we've never really seen him like a serious interview like that. And obviously when he was talking about his being molested and his mum stuff, you saw like Gary get emotional with him as well.
Yeah.
So I've never really seen Gary like that. So it was a bit weird to see Gary doing that. I was thinking like it could have been like another interviewer like a Stephen Bartlett who did the Frank Lampard one, or you've seen like Ronaldo do interviews with Piers Morgan. So, but I'm not sure Piers would have been the right man for this one.
Of course. Yeah. But I know what you mean, like a different type of I mean, out there. I think Gary, everyone's like, I feel like he handled it well. But like, I didn't doubt, and we were chatting about this. Like, I didn't doubt that Gary had the like emotional intelligence for an interview like this. Like, I knew that he built to handle it well. He's a grown man. Like, he's got that good head on his shoulders. Like, I knew he built to do it well, and I think it was a great interview as well. So
yeah, I think the fact that they've got a relationship as well, from working together previously, probably helps.
That helped, 100%.
And the key thing in that specific conversation was to let Dele Alli do the talking.
Yeah.
Maybe ask a few questions here and then.
To guide
it a bit, but yeah, I think Gary did well in terms of letting Dele Alli come out and say what he needs to say.
Yeah, but yeah, do you think then, like, you know what Ali are doing through, like, do you think there's a lot of other players who go through that but just hide it well? Or do you think his case is like, it's peculiar?
No, I think we will find that there are a lot of cases where, or players that have gone through similar situations like Dele Alli, but they, I wouldn't say hide it well, but everyone deals with things differently. Innit?
Yeah.
Some people can just get over it, others can't.
So,
I think with the sleeping pills, I can imagine that there's quite a few footballers who like to deal with like the paparazzi, the constant headlines, the stress of being a footballer, like training. They do take sleeping pills. So like, not like as Ali said that he was prescribed, and then he went on to another load.
Yeah.
But I think that could be a thing in football.
100%.
Sports.
In sports in general,
And they did mention, and this is why I feel like Gary, he was a good person to do the interview, because Gary mentioned, like, you know, when you've got a tough run of games and like things might not be going your way in the fixtures, and then and you're up all night thinking about it, like I could have done better there, or I missed a big chance, I cost the team a goal, like that thought process always going through your head at night, and it's allowing you to sleep. It does make sense as to why sleeping pills is really quite popular, like among ballers, all athletes who like high pressure moments. Imagine like Champions League games where any kind of like high pressure moments where
Lukaku.
Big moments, it's like it's gonna like play a part on you like, at night. That even we at night, like you be thinking about things at night. Imagine like 40,000 fans, 80,000 fans, and like big moments. So
and he's been in some big games as well, like Champions League finals, Premier League, like for last 5-6 games of that season against Leicester. So England semi-finals,
big
World
derbies,
Cup.
International football. Do we feel like, I was thinking about this, do you feel like the ship is sailed with the England team for him?
Yeah, I'd say so.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
How do you think he would, what's the ideal situation that would happen?
How do you fit in?
How we did last time.
I just think there's a few, it just depends what Southgate depends to do, but I just don't see how he fits in, because he'd have to, if he plays a 4-2-3-1, I guess he can shoehorn his way in there. It's about form, right?
Exactly.
It's about form at the right moment.
Yeah.
But you get the feeling that Foden might try to merge into that role soon.
You got Maddison as well.
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
Possibility is there, though.
Definitely, yeah.
If he touches that form.
Because he's so different to them.
Yeah, so different,
He's like a much more of a goal threat compared to all the other number 10s, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
So he's a different type of number 10 to them. So he's in his own lane. So whereas Foden, Maddison, maybe Mount as well, you can throw in there. They're quite similar. Yeah. They're quite similar. So yeah, I think he's got a chance. It's about form and.
Well, I do feel like in terms of the complexion of the midfield, if you've got a player like Bellingham, a player like Ali, it feels like you've got a lot of players who are just all action, and not enough like players who want to get on the ball.
Control
games. I feel like Ali, like his style was always, of course, he can ball,
play,
he can play, but in terms of that's not what he's best at. He's best at runs into the box, the awareness, the movement. That's what he was really best at. So it'll be interesting how that would merge together.
Yeah.
But obviously, with Frank Lampard as well, his interview. How do you guys find it? I wasn't able to watch it, so like, what was the key parts of it? What do you think interesting from your side?
Well, I watched it last night, and there was just certain elements of how he was saying that how he got into management. So it was Harry Redknapp who spoke with the Derby chairman, Mel Morris.
Yeah.
And after 2 hours of Lampard and Morris talking, he got the job, which is just crazy to think about. And how he was saying that in training, that he didn't know how to blow his whistle. So it was like whether to blow it once, twice, but it's things that as a footballer you'd never really pick up on.
Yeah.
And they took it into the business side. It's just small things how when you're in that position you don't think about, but then obviously when you get into a manager position, then you pick up on it. And then for me it was crazy how a year later, after saying that, he then gets one of the biggest jobs in world football in Chelsea. So
but he did a right job at Chelsea at his first stint.
Yeah, he said that obviously with all the youth players, that's what he that's what he liked.
Yeah.
He didn't have any, the pressure was off him. And then the season after, when the pressure was back on him, when he spent the money, then things didn't really go to plan.
Yeah.
And then we've seen. But Yeah, I thought it was a really interesting interview. And he said about how the second spell at Chelsea, how 32 players in the changing room, like telling 20 players that they're not in the starting 11.
There's a lot.
How that you meant to motivate these players.
Yeah.
When they haven't been playing all season. They've got 10 games left of the season. The season's done. Like, what are you meant to tell them? Yeah. Like, they're probably off as we've seen, they're probably off.
Yeah.
So
our team out. Yeah. It was a pretty impossible job for him to come in and try to do something. I guess the bit of hope was that he could maybe work a miracle against Madrid in Champions League, but that was never really going to happen. But I do feel like there were certain phases in those legs where Chelsea did look like dangerous, but that's of anything though.
Yeah, like before Madrid scored, we had chances, but Chelsea, that's the story of Chelsea, been story of Chelsea season, the whole season we haven't had a striker to finish off the chances. So
yeah,
and if you miss them chances against Real Madrid, they've got the power. They had the power, pace and power, like Benzema and Vinicius, to deal with them.
He could do that, isn't it?
Again.
Yeah. How do you find it?
I enjoyed it. I thought he broke down one aspect of his return to Chelsea in terms of when he was a player, they had strong leaders in the dressing room with like Terry, Lampard, Drogba, Cech, Ashley Cole. They were like, because during that time you had loads of managers coming in and out, so they were the core that would like, obviously the manager has to like put in place his style of play, how he wants to go about things, whatever. But they were the ones that like held the change room together, make sure everyone was on board, or trying to get everyone on board to go forward. But in terms of this Chelsea now, where he's a manager, there's not really that core within the team. Like if you see now, everyone's left, like Jorginho, Kante. Only really one you can say is probably Thiago Silva, maybe.
Yeah.
So
it's a lot harder.
It's very harder compared to how it was back then when they had the core players that had a big say in the changing room.
Yeah, I found that quite interesting actually, because he said that obviously Terry was the leader, Lampard was the the proper hard working trainer,
professional.
Cech was one who spoke 5 languages.
Yeah,
that's so helpful.
Drogba was the one who was friendly with all like the French, the African players.
Yeah,
and you had Ashley Cole, who was just a nice guy all round. Yeah. So it was just that aspect where, like, you had like different like leadership circles in the changing room.
That's so important, and it's interesting because obviously, I think I recently finished reading Carlo Ancelotti's book, and he spoke about his time at Chelsea, and he said that how easy it was to come into a team that has so many leaders, because it almost makes like all you almost have to do is just get a few of the leaders on board and everyone follows suit.
Absolutely.
How this everything works, like if the leaders, like if JT, Drogba and Lampard are on board, then Joe Cole and Basuma are going to get on board as well.
He's not going to be on board.
Do you know what I mean? So
exactly.
So it's so important having those and key leaderships, and it helps the just room a lot, man. It's key. 100%. The Lampard interview, I might check it out still, because it did seem that there was a few bits. He didn't talk about his time at Everton, did he?
Very briefly.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah, there's a lot to it. Yeah, like a few big interviews, man, and it came on the same morning as well. So like we had their to just like chew on like during work and the pool as well. To like chew on during work and just like delve into quite a lot in there. I wanted to touch upon, of course, the England under-21s.
Yeah.
Of course, they recently beat Spain in the final 1-0. It was a pretty dominant tournament for them, really. They didn't. Firstly, first time they won the Euro since 1984.
And 21s.
Yeah, 21s, and they didn't. They had clean sheet all tournament essentially, so they didn't consider goal tournament. So it was like a very dominant performance. Who were like a few of you guys like standout performances or players that you didn't expect to see like that level of performance from?
Not necessarily level performance, but I didn't expect to see Angel Gomez playing that role that he played for England. I think, I'll be honest, I didn't really watch
all the games.
I only watched the final, and it really surprised me. And the clips I saw of it, like, it made sense as to why he's working so well there. But one thing I will say from what I've seen is I think their level's above the teams they played. Because
we got to consider that.
You've got a lot of first team players in that team. Probably, I think there's only like 2 that weren't really first team players. The centre back, Taylor Howard, Bellis,
Yeah.
the goalkeeper. Everyone else.
I'm
not sure about left. I can't remember. Oh, Max Aaron's the left back, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone else is pretty much first team players.
Garner.
James Garner.
Yeah.
All first team players.
Yeah.
So the experience that they have clearly shone through the tournament. But it's really surprising to see Curtis Jones and Angel Gomez work so well together.
Really well. Like,
and
super surprising.
Gibbs White at the 10 as well is crazy. Like, when you think about it.
Yeah, it was
But
really good.
That's one thing I took from it. I like the way, like, the style's a bit different. Like, it's not really traditional.
Yeah.
And, like, they were playing football. Like, they were balling.
Yeah, I've never seen England play it like that kind of football.
Yeah.
Like, it was good to watch. Like, really good to watch.
It was super, it was very good. Like, in terms of even the, like, double pivot of Gomez and Curtis. Like, Curtis is, Jones, he's like a player that, like, we've always known, he's got some ability there, but he's not that, like, level of player. But he did show at the different side of this tournament that he can ball. Yeah. I think Klopp will try and see what he can do with him during the season. And I think there's a few players who, during this tournament, they almost like reminded people of their talents. Of like players like Smith Rowe, he had a great tournament. Like he almost like reminded that I'm still like a top talent. Like
I think you could say the same of Anthony Gordon as well. So after Newcastle, he didn't really.
He didn't have a good second half of the season.
He didn't have a good second half, and then he wins player of the tournament.
Yeah.
So and he was after the way England were playing, so they weren't playing with a out and out number 9. So they were all quite fluid, the front three.
Yeah. So super fluid. Yeah. It was good.
Maybe that's a sign of things to come.
Yeah. And also with Gibbs White, he was also great, like playing in that private centre forward role. Do we see him like his potential? How big do we see it? How big do we think he can go?
High. I think it's high just because of his personality as well. Like the talent's there, but what I saw around Forest was like he was like the one that was like leading the charge. Like when he played, like you can see like he cared a lot, and I love that because obviously the big move to a team that's not expected to do much. Not really expected to stay up with all the transfers that's coming and whatnot. And they signed a lot of older players as well, so you expect them to be like the leaders and whatnot. But he seemed like he was the proper leader in that team, and like he was carrying them. Like he's got the personality along with the talent, so I think his ceiling's quite high. But he's still very young as well, so I'm not too sure what his next move is, but we'll see how his career pans out.
I just think like with his role, like it's always interesting. You know, when you get midfielders who kind of begin to play up front or like in forward roles. I never know how long they're able to maintain that level at the top level as well. Because like when you get moved into like a different position, it will be interesting to see like how his career grows. Like because at Forest, of course, he plays in the front line, but if he was to get moved to
Arsenal,
a Champions League or Europa League team in the future, like would he still be playing the front line? I'm just not sure.
I think you would.
Do you know what I mean? You don't have to. With that Forest, he got that.
The freedom.
Yeah, he gets the license to do that. But as is, he gets better and he inevitably he joins a bigger, better club. Is he still going to get that freedom to be on the front line, roaming? So it'll be interesting to see how his career grows and develops from there.
I could probably see him sitting a bit deeper, like not like as an 8 or in one of the big teams. I couldn't see him as in the front three.
Yeah, same. For top team. I do feel like with another player who impressed, Cole Palmer. Of course, he scored the free kick in the final. It was deflected, but you know what I mean. Still, do you know what I mean? He's got an interesting little scenario because obviously he's at Man City. Bernardo Silva, he's rumoured to be leaving. Got Marves, who's also rumoured to be leaving that. How do you feel like his playing time will like be impacting this new season? Or do you feel like Pep's even going to trust him in that regard?
I think it will increase, but I'm not sure if he's ready enough to replace Mahrez and Bernardo Silva yet.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Like the glimpses I saw of him during the season, he wasn't really aligned with everyone else, so he just used to run, get to the byline, and didn't really know what to do with it. So it was a bit like he's still got to take the next step to be in that Man City team and be playing consistently. But we've seen with Foden what Pep can do. He just like eases him into the thing. So
I do think he needs more rounding. I sort of get like at club level anyway. I sort of get the impression that he kind of wants to like be the guy. Like he wants to
he wants to be the main man.
Yeah, he wants to be the main guy. And if you're a young player who's coming through at Man City, you can't really have that. Like you can't really have that impression on the pitch because it just won't work with the system and how Pep wants to operate. So yeah, like we'll be interested with Cole Palmer because the season before last he was looking promising. That in his small cameos from getting the first team, he was cooking and like he was like it was flowing, like his movement, his dribbling, like and a few goals he got here and there as well. He was looking like someone like he's coming up, but he kind of he stagnated last year. But again, it's also hard when you've got Mahrez and Bernardo Silva in front of you. Like even Mahrez doesn't get a lot of playing time. Let alone Cole Palmer behind him. So yeah, we'll be interested to see how he goes and develops.
I think he's got a good role model on Grealish though. Like he can watch Grealish. No, on the pitch. he can watch Grealish because I think they're quite similar. So like he can watch how Grealish has transitioned from his first season to the to last season, where he started being more a team player, and then go from there.
Yeah, I feel like stylistically probably a bit different, but I know what you mean like in terms of having to like adapt into the City wearing system. Yeah, it'll be a lot he's got to do. I was seeing like a conversation around about like how I feel like City are at a level now where their academy graduates, because it's City, they get good value for them in terms of transfer fees, and I kind of noticed that like with Trafford, I think he's going for like 18 odd million. I can't remember the exact figure, but and it kind of reaching a level now where like you know how in Madrid or in the Barca, if you're a Barca youngster, you just get that tag on you because it's Barca.
Yeah.
Same with like in Madrid. Like I feel like City are kind of getting to that place where if you come through the academy, you've got that tag on you because of how the academy is.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't really think of it like that, to be fair. I was being salty. I was thinking there's like something going on behind closed doors. But yeah, no, that's probably right. That makes sense. They invested so much into it, so
yeah, you got players coming through now. Just like he's a City boy, so he must be cold. Like it's getting to that level.
You saw last season with Southampton taking Lavia, Bazanu. So
yeah, and look how that he's now grown.
Lavia's now. Yeah. Like Chelsea were putting in 40 million bids in the same window for Lavia after a couple of games. So like,
apparently Liverpool won him as well. So we'll be interested. He's right.
That's a joke. What they did. That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
That's Chelsea, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But also, lastly on the under 21s, Colwill. Obviously, he's not someone that I guess it wasn't a surprise seeing him perform at that level because he's proven that at Brighton last season, right? But it's interesting, like where he stands now at Chelsea because I feel like he's in a place where he'd want to be a guaranteed starter, and they've got Badiashile on that left-handed side. How do you feel like Chelsea are going to manage that? Because apparently there's a bit of still talks about his new deal as well.
Yeah, so he hasn't signed that new contract yet. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it is that why because he wants guarantees that he's got first team football.
Yeah.
But then Badiashile had a really good second half of the season last season.
Yeah.
But he's just coming back from an injury. So I feel like for the start of the season, I think Colwill cemented that first team spot.
Yeah.
But I feel like him and Poch will just have to talk because I think I read in an interview that Southgate has promised Colwill like a first team spot in the England team in the Euros.
Yeah.
If he gets first team football. So, but you see with Colwill, like he's a talent. You saw it at Brighton, like on the ball, he's just so good, and I think it would fit into that Chelsea team so easily.
Yeah, and I feel like with Colwill, his season obviously is very high, and you just have to see where it goes. But I don't know because he could easily look at it and think Chelsea out of European football. Brighton, where I've been for the whole last season, I'm growing, I'm getting better. They've got European football. Like it may seem like an actual step up, but I feel like Chelsea be hard-handed on that and say you're not going nowhere. And he's still a young player, so you're gonna have to settle down a bit.
It's not just Brighton who want him as well. I think it's Liverpool and City both interested as well. So
it's crazy. But the England point is interesting though, because obviously you get the impression that Maguire didn't be phased out, so he's really got he can really have an opportunity to be like a mainstay in that England team for the next 10 years. Like if he builds correctly in that position, so it'll be interesting, man. There's therefore a lot happening there. So England under 21s though, that you can't deny like what they did and or keep growing. And apparently like as the under 21s, a few other players were eligible to play, like even better players, and obviously like players like Foden's eligible, Bellingham's eligible, like there's even more players who are eligible, but because the England talent, I think it's getting to a place now where it could be the. Is it bully to is it bully to say that it's the best in Europe in terms of the like talent that England have at their disposal?
I'd say so. You saw them. You won the under-17s a couple of years ago as well. Yeah. So
the ended and things.
So that talent.
Sancho.
Where's he now? So that talent's there. So and we saw the French team in the Euros. They didn't really live up to their expectations.
Yeah. They're coming through, to be fair, but yeah.
They've got some players. They've got some players.
They've got some guys
Turkey.
But for right now, like the England squad and the under 21s, like I think it's head and shoulders above the rest.
Because there's still players on that England team, under 21 team, on the bench where I was looking like he'd be starting for any other under 21 team, like Harvey Elliott.
Yeah.
He'd be starting for any under 21 team. So
there's a lot, man. I think it probably is.
And you have Jacob Ramsey as well.
Jacob Ramsey,
who was injured.
He was coming off and was coming off the bench. You got a lot of talent there. What who do you think is better than it then?
I agree.
Oh, I agree. Yeah.
I thought you were say world.
You got the Brazilians, but
I think that's a toss-up.
You don't really know the Brazilians.
Yeah, it's just that when Chelsea want to put billion.
You don't really know the Brazilians, but they're always cold.
But even okay, cool. We don't know the Brazilian like 17-year-olds until when we do about them, yeah. But but in terms of even their squad against England on like a talent and depth level, who do you think?
Oh yeah, England beats them.
England beats them, yeah. It's crazy though. That's actually crazy. Yeah, England come a long way, and like Southgate has to deliver with this nation, really. Yeah. We can see what the Euros hold next summer still, but cool. So let's throw into, of course, the Premier League season starting next month. I think it's about 3 or 4 weeks away now. A lot of clubs have done a lot of business. A lot of money been spent. Like surprisingly, like quite a few clubs have done like a lot of the bidders in the early stages, which is good. Like prior to pre-season, like Liverpool, like Arsenal. Who do you think has been you guys' favourite signing of the season? Like signing that's like it feels like it ticks all the boxes, good value, good quality player. Like in your views.
You have to ask, I think.
Cool. I'll go with Pau Torres. So
that's a good one.
Yeah.
30 million from Villarreal, and he's a proven La Liga centre back. Yeah. And going to Aston Villa when there was a big team circling him last year.
Big teams.
I think this puts Villa up another level. I know they finished 6th or 7th last year.
Yeah.
I could probably see them now challenging to where Newcastle was with this signing.
Yeah.
So like,
I
think it completely improves their defence. So it's automatically an upgrade on Mings.
Yeah.
And then they've also got Diego Carlos back.
And Konsa still.
Konsa. So they're their centre backs would be Carlos and Torres. Two solid centre backs
in
La Liga.
That's a really like centre back pairing, to be fair.
So
I think that's like a challenge for top. Well, not the whole team isn't there, but in terms of the quality of that back line.
But with the way Emery sets up, and you saw him in the second half of last year, they were on top 4 form.
Yeah.
So when he took over, they were bottom half.
Yeah.
And then he's won so many games, and they've gone up to 6th or 7th. So
I think it was like 11 games in a row.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was something like that, innit? Yeah. So he really, it took him to another level. Interestingly, I had Pau Torres as well, because it just ticks so many boxes. In terms of being a team that was okay, look, you got the Conference League last season. Now you want to push further, so that means you want to have more of the ball. You want to be more dominant, and he ticks all those boxes. Like his progressive passing stats and passing to the final third, even from centre back, have been exceptional. He's also very consistent. Past 4 seasons, he's played over 30 league games. So it just seems like a no-brainer deal. But obviously, deals that seem great don't always work out. So we'll see how he goes. And obviously, I've always got a soft spot for him because he was part of my Villarreal football manager team that went on to achieve greatness. So Pau Torres is a class player. He's been he's been needing like a big move for a little while. And I feel like he's at the right age for it. He's 26. He can really build, and it's a bargain really. How are you? Anyone comes to mind?
Yeah, McAllister.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a well-rounded, high energy midfielder.
Yeah.
That if Klopp gets his hand on and like works well with him, could be dangerous.
Yeah.
Could be scary. He's a goal threat as well.
Yeah.
And like what we saw in the World Cup, like when he's around better players, he can like.
He elevates. Yeah. 100%.
So, I'm a bit scared of that one. I'll be honest.
And what I'm really annoyed about that deal is like how cheap they were to get him.
Yeah,
like, I feel like if there's any other big team,
he's out of order.
if United weren't McAllister, how much they're paying for him, man?
Well, look at Chelsea and Caicedo.
Exactly. Like how are they able to just like?
He started that.
True.
Yeah, but 35 million from McAllister.
We did to us about
and they want 100.
Like, come on, bro.
It takes a bit. No, but to be fair, I don't think the amount of fee was outrageous.
1 year left in the contract.
English talent.
English
Homegrown. Young.
24, right?
Yeah, 24.
Like, yeah. That's kind of like, but yeah, the McAllister though, yeah, he does seem like someone who's going to really improve the level of their midfield, especially when they have. I think the local midfield situation is quite awkward right now because also you got Fabinho, who's in talks with Saudi League, Henderson as well.
Yeah.
So quite a lot of players leaving, and I think someone Fabinho, his profile player would be like a really hard to replace. Keita's left, Chambers left. Milner's left.
They brought in Szoboszlai.
Yeah, Szoboszlai. He's really interested in seeing how he settles in. So like, it's quite a lot. But at the same time, Curtis Jones, he might step up now and like take a little minute. Harvey Elliott, but personally, he's never gonna be. Personally, he's never gonna be a central midfielder for me. But I know what you mean. It's still that depth and options there. But yeah, that the overhaul in midfield that they're going through. It's gonna be interesting to see how it comes together, man. Yeah. A lot of new faces in like a kind of a new shape that he was starting to play back in the last season. It'll be interesting seeing how that all comes together. Like it won't be. I don't think it'll be plain sailing.
No, 100%. But they would have done it earlier. They got the whole preseason to work it out as well. So
yeah.
That'd be good for them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. So also obviously over the past week, De Gea, he's officially leaving. Of course, it was a bit of a mess because you guys offered him a deal and then took it back and then changed the terms and obviously United being a mess like usual.
All right.
How do you feel about him leaving and how do you look forward in terms of United's goalkeeping situation?
I feel like the time's right.
Yeah.
Like with how the last few seasons have gone for him, personally, I feel like the time's right. And like, he hasn't really evolved or adapted to the new style of goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So he's sort of like outdated now. So it'll be hard for him to find another top club in the Premier League. Definitely. Maybe you could go like Spain or something, but
yeah, nothing about Spain or Saudi.
Or Saudi, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But it'll be hard for him to find another top club.
Yeah.
That will like accept that he can't really play football with his feet.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the time's about right. And we need to catch up with everyone else as our goalkeeper.
Yeah, you do, yeah. It's been an issue for a little while now. I did hear like a conversation about that though, like saying that he, unfortunately, he came through and entered his prime at a time where so much more was required of a goalkeeper. I feel like they were saying that like if he came through, let's say he moved to United, forget the like other players that they've had, but let's say like he comes into like a Premier League team 10 years prior, where all you needed to be was a great stop stopper and pretty good leader.
Yeah.
Then he would have had like a much higher level in terms of like his accolades and how he's viewed. Because in terms of what he's achieved is good, but how he's viewed, he's viewed as a keeper that's always got a howler in him. He's viewed as a keeper as a bit of a liability.
Yeah.
So like do you feel like if he was in like another age or like another era, it would be a bit different for him?
Yes and no, because I feel like the club have something to do with it as well. Like where he's played so well, won like Player of the Year a couple times. That's because everyone else isn't playing as well as him. So maybe the fact that we've underperformed and he's done well, or looks like he's doing well, hasn't helped either. But yeah, he probably is a decade behind. Yeah, which is quite crazy. But
it's crazy, and like obviously. He won the Golden Boot, Golden Glove during last season in 17-18 as well.
That's crazy though. Like he won it last season, but did he seem like a?
He got 17 clean sheets last season.
I know, which is crazy.
How do you guys do that, by the way?
Martinez.
Oh my god.
What? He's best centre back in the league.
Nice.
Come on, bro.
He's better than Saliba.
Yeah.
Nice. I thought you still.
And Dyke.
Better than Cole.
Obviously.
But yeah, like 17 clean sheets. Like
That's impressive.
you gotta give him some credit, man. You don't
Yeah,
get that by
100%,
accident, man.
100%.
Come on, like, you can't be so thing on him, man. You don't get that by accident.
Yeah.
That's a lot of clean sheets.
Yeah, I think that's a team effort as well, though.
It is.
Because I feel like
It is multi-team.
due to the profile of our players, Ten Hag hasn't really been able to implement his style of play properly, how he really wants to play.
Yeah,
So our line's a bit deeper than it really should be for us to progress forward.
that's true.
So, yeah, we start further back. It's easier to defend, isn't it? And we've got great defenders and whatnot, and they've played really well. He's done well as well in moments, but
yeah.
as always, the howler's always going to outshine the good
Yeah.
moments. So,
With the goalkeeper, like, it's how it is.
and his howler's been bad,
He has some bad howlers.
really bad.
You think the worst one was Seville?
Which one? Which one?
Second half.
Yeah.
Was that Maguire's fault?
What? Which one? When we came out to clear it?
No.
I mean, under his foot. He fell over. Oh, the one we passed it to Maguire.
Yeah.
I think that's De Gea's fault,
The
personally.
pass was a bit off, innit?
Not even that. It's just he shouldn't really give it to him. I know Maguire called for it,
Yeah.
but you can see behind him
You
what's
see
going
that,
on
yeah.
around
You
him.
see the big picture.
So you got to make the decision for him.
Mm.
I think West Ham one's up there.
Oh, gosh.
It's never a good sign when like we're listing these
Yeah.
That's
from
what I'm
goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And there was one where like he's at the near post as well, and he's just like he's like moved out the way of the ball,
Oh,
and it's
what
gone,
was
it's
that?
gone in.
Oh, man,
I've
Everton.
always hate my keepers
Flinch.
at their near post.
Oh,
He's come off the post and it's hit his leg and gone in. And it's
I hate stuff
like
like that.
why are you not?
What's happening?
Bozo, Jim.
Like, he's always
I hate
been
them,
a
man.
goalkeeper who's, I don't want to say scared to use his hands, but he's always been like feet orientated.
Yeah.
Mm.
he's known
So
for
like
it.
he's been saving with he saves with his feet quite a lot than his hands.
Yeah, he
and
was
I feel
great
like
17, 18
yeah,
doing that. Oh, it was unreal. Yeah. It
you
was
saw
great
the
when
Arsenal
we were-
game.
Yeah. Oh my god, like, yeah. It was crazy doing that at this time. But yeah, like, I've always hated when keepers they be out in their post. I do understand that it's not always easy because you gotta try to you position yourself to in case it goes across goal as well.
Yeah.
I know it's not always easy, but like it don't feel good to get beat in their post. Like,
Yeah.
what is that? But yeah, I've always hated this stuff. But yeah, it's interesting. Man. I feel like he'll probably go to either like a Saudi or a Spain who will start every game and be that guy. But,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, he'll be alright.
He's had a nice career.
Yeah, but he had a good career.
Yeah.
Europa League, Premier League,
Yeah.
FA Cup,
Couple
League
times.
Cup. Like, come on,
Yeah.
I think. Do you think he ranks amongst all-time Premier goalkeepers? Not high, or because his consistency. What he joined in 2011?
Yeah.
I'd probably put him in top 10, 15.
That's fair. Top 10, I think.
Yeah.
But 10's a bit high though.
You think?
Depends. Are you going to put like... Is Alisson in there for you?
Yeah, Alisson's higher than De Gea.
Yeah, he is. He's on the league as well. So it's like,
Well, you got to think about the keepers on the pass as well.
yeah, Premier League era only.
So you have
Yeah.
Czech, Van der Sar all higher.
Trek Van der Sar, cool.
Schmeichel.
Schmeichel, obviously.
Both?
Van der Sar,
Both Schmeichels?
nah,
No.
nah.
To do his thing?
So that's 4.
Yeah.
Who else?
Seaman. I'd have De Gea over Seaman.
To be fair, right, like with the keepers.
There's a lot more.
Yeah.
We're not thinking.
Yeah.
There's a lot
We're
more.
not thinking properly in that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But Liverpool had these keepers recently.
You have Reina.
Reina, nah.
I'd have De Gea over Reina.
I had Reina, yeah.
Would you have
Obviously-
Courtois?
I don't think Courtois was in there long enough.
Yeah, he wasn't in the Prem long enough. But in terms
Courtois is a better goalkeeper, but I don't think he was there long enough.
How long was he there for?
Courtois was there 3 seasons
is
Really?
it? But
because he was on loan at Atletico. for
Yeah.
quite a
Oh,
bit.
yeah.
but are we doing it based on talent only, and
Talent and accolade, achievements.
Yeah.
or like how long they're in the league for? But it's interesting
Everything,
anyway.
everything. You got to put everything.
Yeah,
together.
put everything
Yeah.
together. But yeah, I think he's actually top 10. Like
Yeah.
now I think about it, he probably gets into top 10.
Yeah.
What's happening? Like it is fair play to him, man. Yeah, it's interesting. With obviously there was a bit of talk about how Jordan Henderson, of course, he was very vocal about like against the Saudi like human rights and stuff during the whole World Cup thing.
Yeah.
But he's all of a sudden now agreed terms with a Saudi club for 700k a week. What do you man like? Is there really morality in football? Like really like, or is it like price tag? Or do you guys feel like you should come man, you're alright, but you don't even really need to be doing that. If you've like you stood so strongly against something, you got to stand by it. Like,
well, I think based on that point, the last one, we can only judge it to see how he acts when he's out there. If he goes out there and he's still on the same thing, then what can we really say?
But he's still taking their money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're employed by them in their state. Like, you can't come on. You can't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's interesting. Like,
but he's probably got Saudi money somehow throughout his career, anyways. At some point, Saudi money's gonna infiltrate our economy, so he's probably got it somehow, anyways.
Yeah, but it's different to wearing the shirt.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Wearing the shirt, living in the country.
Out there.
I mean, but again, the only thing is, for 700k a week, would you guys?
That's a lot of money, man.
Would get something that you stood against or for?
Yeah.
Like, would you? I mean, 700k a week at 32, you kind of achieved what you wanted to achieve at club level.
Yeah, but was the movement like, based on what you guys are saying? Surely then they would have like opted against playing in Qatar, full stop. Right?
Yeah, but they compromised there as well because of what they compromised.
Yeah.
Everyone compromises somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But at least in that instance, all they did was say, we stand against this.
Yeah.
But still played. Whereas here it's like, and I don't think it'll go well like with the fans and the environment around there if you go there and you're still saying things that's against the like.
Yeah, especially when you're living there, playing there in the country.
We have life around there.
With the World Cup, he was there for a month.
Yeah, so you get in and get out. Do you know what I mean? Whereas it's a bit different. It's just interesting. Like 400k a week, it will change a lot of people's morals. That's how reality is.
I don't think there's more reality in football, anyways. To be honest, yeah, it's a business.
There's a lot to it. I wanted to go with somewhere else. So also, I went to the hot topic lineup. I wanted to go somewhere else because recently, First Direct Bank, their bank, and they did some research recently, and the research showed that 81% of 18 to 25-year-olds have either not put as much into their savings, or they've not socialized as much, or they cancel their gym memberships in order to save for a holiday. Yeah. Which I thought quite interesting. I wanted to see like, you know when you guys like have trips and stuff that are coming up or you plan, like, do you guys sacrifice things? Or you just go say whatever it is like
Yeah, it is what it is. Me personally.
Yeah, same. I don't really sacrifice now.
Yeah, it's interesting obviously because the research like I spoke about how like in spite of the cost of living crisis, like a lot of the young people are saying like wherever goes.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna go away. Like
yeah. Oh, okay.
There's an element of that. Like, well, if it means that I don't save as much, blind me. How important? Yeah. So like, how important is like savings to you guys opposed to a good time?
I don't really see it as a good time though. I see it as more than that. It's an experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like how me going to like I don't know Spain now or whatever, or Portugal now.
Yeah.
It's not going to be the same experience as you going in 10 years.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm older, situation probably be different. So
yeah.
It's more of an experience, not just a good time in my opinion. So it is as valuable as saving.
Yeah.
I think I kind of learnt that during lockdown, where like when we was indoors for like 4 or 5 months, I was kind of thinking, I wish I'd gone on holiday more. Wish I had a better time when I was out. So like I'd go out and like not have a good time because I always thought, it's always next week.
Yeah.
So like lockdown happened and I was stuck indoors for 4 months. Came out of lockdown, I was thinking, now I need to like,
you want to enjoy, yeah.
Not live a little, but like live a bit more. Like if someone asks me to go out, I'm going out because you never know if that might happen again and you're stuck indoors for 4 months. Yeah. So like that's my perspective.
Yeah, I guess you got to find that balance though, isn't it? Because it's like there's a thin line of always like, okay, cool. You want to have like great experiences now, enjoy now, but you also want to be comfortable later.
Yeah.
And it's very true to say tomorrow isn't guaranteed. It's true, but every day of your life so far, you've always had tomorrow.
Yeah.
And your decisions that you made yesterday have always impacted your tomorrow, all the way up until the age, 23, 24, 25. It's always impacted your tomorrow up until now, so you're going to have to start thinking about tomorrow eventually, otherwise you're going to keep being in deficit.
Yeah, I hear that.
So, like, it's interesting, but, like, it's interesting. Like, I don't sacrifice crazy for, like, a trip, but some things you might just, like, lead up to a trip, like, you kind of bake off, you know what I mean?
Sure thing. Takeaways.
Yeah, takeaways.
Wigs.
Yeah, like, takeaways kind of got to calm down.
Yeah.
Because it's like, cool, do you know what I mean? Takeaways kind of calm. And it's because, like, you want to be free out there. Like, you don't want to be that, oh, man, it's like, you want to be free away. Like, you take how we're spending money, free for whoever it is, and let's be free to enjoy it. And not feel like, I mean...
That's the thing with holidays, like, I don't like having, like, a restricted spending money.
Yeah.
So, like, I'll just go with the flow. So, like, I don't really want to, like, limit myself to, like, so I take about 2 bills out, and I'll be like, I don't want to be like, oh, £50 a night.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be in that mindset, because I'm just constantly thinking, oh, I've spent this much, spent this much.
Is that nice place to be, man?
Yeah, it's like, for me, that's bad vibes.
Yeah. You want the freedom to be able to, like, if you're away and it comes up with the sick cruise party going on and €70, that you go, okay, cool, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? You want to have that freedom. It's important, man. It's important still.
Like, I'm on holiday, I want to have a good time without thinking on, like, my money situation.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. Do you guys put in, like, you know, when, like, start of the year, and you're thinking about, like, you want to do in the year and your savings, do you guys factor in trips into your savings? Like,
not necessarily.
you just,
Yeah.
whenever the time comes, you book.
I don't really, like, pre-book like that.
Mm.
Like, I usually book 2 months before.
Yeah.
So it's hard to plan for stuff. Like, I plan to go away this summer.
Yeah.
But I haven't gone away.
Yeah.
Just because things haven't worked out. Like, people haven't really agreed to going anywhere. But like, it's hard to plan things like that, in my opinion. But
yeah.
what do you think?
Yeah, same. So I've got a holiday coming up in September, which I wouldn't say I've, like, gone out my way to save for it. It's just...
So did you book it?
Booked it a couple of weeks ago. So, like, it's September, so, like, we're booking things for, like, so we're going to Ibiza. So we booked Ocean Beach. So that was, like, a crazy amount of money just for Ocean Beach. And then booked the hotels, booked the flights. But it's like, it's not like I've put something out of my account to, like, from the start of the year. Yeah, it just is what it is. Yeah.
For that. You know when you man, it's quite interesting actually. So you know you man go away, yeah. Do you man use like a different bank account?
Oh yeah, I use a Monzo account.
Different card.
Yeah.
Oh, you?
I don't.
You same
one, yeah.
I use
It's them transaction fees.
Yeah.
You go on your account, it's like 50p for everything.
Yeah. Mine's not that bad. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't know how. Yeah, to be fair, you're right.
So if I'm
like
tapping going
every-
around the drinks,
yeah.
like it's 70p extra.
Also, another element of it personally, yeah, it's just like the safety, like, because with me, I'll put my spending money into that account, so I know that cool. Whatever happens to this account abroad, it just is like it's my holiday money. Whereas if you take your UK card out there, anything, and you know what these foreign like,
Oh yeah.
I mean, you never know what's going on out there. Like you tap something, it charges something different.
6 bills instead of 60 pounds.
Do you know what I mean? So it's like I like personally like saving on the fees and also just a bit of like security that okay look what spending money's in there. If something goes wrong there, at least I know it's not spending money at risk.
Yeah.
It's not my, do you know what I mean, own cash. So
Yeah.
I've always well not always to be fair, but only that past few trips I use a different card. It's good to like differentiate it as well. It feels better. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's how I've always done it. It's interesting, man. But look, another one on the lineup. Obviously, this is quite hot, boys. This is quite a hot topic, man. But Kiki, man. Kiki, man. Cool. For those you might not know what happened, Kiki Palmer turned to Usher's show, and Usher was serenading her quite intimately in the show. Her partner at home wasn't too happy about it, spoke up about it online, saying that as a mother of your children, you shouldn't be out there singing like that. You don't have a man with that clothes on, so on and so on and so on and so forth. Yeah. Who do you man feel that's slightly in the right here?
None of them. I hear his point.
Yeah.
But I don't like the way he went about it. Why he got to Twitter? How we doing? Like,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I don't understand the dynamic of their relationship, obviously.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if that's a thing where like he can like have a problem with what she's wearing or whatnot. Some relations that don't. Other relations like and they care about what the man thinks. So
Yeah.
I don't know how that works for them, but if it does work that way, he should have went to Twitter. Just go to her directly.
Yeah. What if he did go to her? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He did speak to her. And she didn't listen.
Yeah, but still though, it's sort out in house.
Yeah,
like,
sort out in-house, yeah.
How does it help?
Publicly called her out
Yeah, it's cold, man.
on
That's
Twitter
not right.
as well.
That's
And you
not
see
right.
how she reacted?
Yeah.
Did she wear like t-shirts or something?
Yeah, t-shirts. She's really trying to get the bag with this. That she done. She's doing shows. She's doing merch. Like, I mean,
It's a circus now because he's gone to Twitter.
Yeah.
It's a
As
spiral.
soon as you take it out there, it's
Yeah.
gonna go wherever you. I mean,
There's no
wherever the
limits to
internet
it.
wants it to
either.
go. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like, so in terms of do we feel like it's an exception because it's Usher? Because it's not.
No.
Yeah, it's because I know people say that. Oh, like, come on, man. Usher's like he's playing his 90s bangers.
That's a big problem in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, what's the limits then? Like, you're gonna do the bad thing and be like, oh, it's
It's whoever.
Chris Brown or
It's whoever.
like,
do you know
what does that mean?
Yeah.
Just been some random guy at a karaoke bar. Like,
Yeah,
It's no different. So.
Yeah, it's no different. Yeah, it's hot, man. Like it's been obviously like a lot of people have been chatting about it. It's just as soon as you take it into the private into the public space,
Yeah.
like, the internet gonna do whatever. Apparently, a few of them even dug into his history, digging up old things. As soon as you take things there, they're gonna be real for you. You didn't even know.
There's no good coming out of it.
Yeah, there's no coming out of this though, and obviously, people were saying it's gonna be interesting. Yeah, so how do you man? I'm assuming you guys are pretty free with like, if you guys are involved with someone. How do you feel if they wear something that you feel like is overly assertive? Do you just say, "Ugh, she doing her," or are you guys more like, I don't know, man, like, you think you can be a bit? And bearing in mind, this is a mother that later in life. This is like early 20s.
Obviously, she's not the mother of my child.
Of course.
At the age I'm at now, I would hope she'd always ask me for my opinion. Like before she goes out, like usually she always asks for my opinion. So if it is too assertive, she'll probably know by my reaction. Like,
and they know.
They know as well. So when she sees my reaction,
they know, bro.
She knows what I'm thinking already.
Yeah.
That's
Whatever she decides to do after.
That's why they're asking. Yeah.
Whatever she decides to do after, that's her own.
Yeah.
We may have a conversation later on, but I will never like tell her that take her off or you can't wear that. I'll never do that. But if she asks me for my opinion, I'll give it to her. Whatever she takes from it.
Yeah, everything from it.
Move on.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean,
I feel like they can wear it, but as long as I can trust her, you can wear whatever you want, but if you trust her, to be sensible, then
it
wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
But then obviously you have other people who I don't know. So you're in a club, you've got other boys going up.
Yeah.
You're already getting that attention because of what they're wearing.
That's the thing, right? It's when it's like it's usually with these sort of things. It's usually not even about your partner. It's more about what it's gonna attract, and it's like you don't want someone that you're involved with get that sort of attention for no reason. It's just unnecessary having to chat to guys or reject them. It's unnecessary interactions that aren't really needed. But it's interesting that I feel your point. That you kind of just say that I'm not beyond that, bro. And because with that, sometimes I don't know, bro. I don't know, but
it's
you have the conversation and then you see kind of where it goes from there.
Yeah, usually having conversations anyway, quite randomly. They'll ask you if I was wearing something too. They'll show you your shirt and be like, "Oh, if I was wearing this, how would you feel?"
Yeah.
That's when you can give your opinions and stuff and get a take from that. But
And it nurtures it from there. Yeah, you build it from there. You start early. Yeah, you get it early. Yeah, it's interesting, man. And it's like, you know, it's also, I was seeing like a lot of people say that, like, it's a shame that another, like, black, a couple come together, and then because of the internet, it's now, it's gone. You know what I mean? It's become a circus. It's silly, man. But we'll see, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning into the It's Not Easy podcast, man. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time, man. Peace.
Peace.
Oi.